So we are doing the Similar Polygons homework, and we are starting with number 5. One of the things I wanted you to walk away with yesterday was that scale factor is blank over blank. Second over first. Scale factor is second over first. Scale factor is second over first. So when I'm finding the scale factor of number 5, remember we read from left to right. So if I want to find the scale factor, I'm going to put second over first. I'm going to put 3 over 7. So the scale factor is 3 over 7. You always check to see if it can be reduced. Can you reduce 3/7? No, so you move on. All right. Now the next thing we need to find is x. Whoa, what? We've got x, and we've got x plus 8. Okay. Now, at first glance, you get a little confused because you're like, 3 is to 7 as x is to, it's empty. And you're like, what do? I can't solve this thing. But then you look a little bit closer at the triangles, and someone did something funky to the triangles. They like flipped it and rotated it a tiny bit. And so all we care about is that those sides go together, they correspond. What's x across from? 1 arc. What's x plus 8 across from? 1 arc. So we're actually good to go. So we are going to do that. We're going to say 3 is to 7 as?
X over
X is to? X plus 8. Blake, what can I do for you?
I'm just wondering, how would that work with the 3 and the 7? Because, I mean, if they're not on the same side.
3 is across from double arcs and 7 is across from double arcs. It's just a weird picture.
It really is.
Just weird. All right. 3x plus 24. Be careful. You've got to distribute or you will solve it incorrectly. Subtract 3x from both sides. 4x equals 24. Okay. Divide by 4. It's a pretty answer. X is 6. Is that clear up number 5?
Yeah.
Proportions. All right, let's do number 6. Let's do some more proportions. Number 6, scale factor. You got to find 2 numbers that go together, that correspond. What 2 numbers y'all want to use? 4 and 3. Second over first. What number comes second? The 4. What number came first? The 3. So the scale factor is 4/3. Can you write that as a decimal?
Yes.
1.5.
Does Miss Tan let you write repeating decimals as answers?
No.
Never. No. So you may not write that as a decimal. 4/3 is the only answer that you may write.
Wait, Miss Stanton, what about if you wanted to do a mixed number?
Yeah, that's what I was
But I just don't like mixed fractions. There is no use for mixed fractions for us in this class. You can't multiply them. You can't cross multiply them. They're no good to us. Improper fractions are much more
They're a
useful
much
for
better
us.
looking answer.
I don't agree. I think that's beautiful. All right, so we're gonna solve for each
Has a good
letter
personality.
separately. Okay, stay with me, guys. 4 is to 3 as x is to 8. Then just set up another proportion. Please keep using your scale factor. Keep using it over and over and over. Don't use one of your answers to find another answer, because what if you solved it incorrectly? All right, 4 is to 3 as y is to 4. And finally, 4 is to 3 as 10 is to z. I've now set up a proportion to find all 3 of my variables. All that's left is cross multiplying. And I'm just going to tell you what you're going to get. You're going to get 32/3 for x. You're going to get 16/3 for y. And you're going to get 15/2 or 7.5 for z. This is one where you can write it 2 different ways because it has an end. It doesn't go on forever.
That 32/3 looks much better.
Oh, stop it. Okay, 6 is done. So now we're going to move on to number...
7.
I know I'm doing 12. Was I doing 10? 10. Okay. Number 10 and then number 12. Number 10. Quad PQRS is similar to quad TUVW. I'm going to stop right there so that I don't get confused, and I'm going to write second over first. The second quadrilateral listed is TUVW. I'm just going to put a T And the first one listed is PQRS. So that I don't get confused, I know that that is second over first. Okay, now I'm good. One side of PQRS has a length of 12. So where should I put the 12? The bottom, because it's PQRS. I put the P there. All right, the corresponding side of TUVW has a length of 15. There you go. The perimeter of TUVW is 35. Where should I put 35? It's TUVW. T. 35. Find the perimeter of PQRS. I did not say this yesterday, so let me make sure that this is clear. If the sides are proportional, then the perimeters are also proportional. And we're going to learn that next week. Side is 1D. What do I mean when I say 1D? One-dimensional. And perimeters are 1D, one-dimensional. Did you say one direction? Okay, sides are one-dimensional and perimeters are one-dimensional, so there's no converting necessary. You can put them in the same proportion. That's great. That's cool. All right, so let's cross multiply. 35 times 12 divided by 15. 28 is the perimeter of the other quadrilateral. Last problem. Number 12. X equals 28. Number 12. This one's tougher. This is the toughest homework problem on here. Maybe. The perimeter of a rectangle is 60. So everyone draw a rectangle. That way you're not just sitting there staring at me bored. The perimeter is 60. Draw a rectangle. Draw it. Draw a rectangle. The perimeter is 60. The ratio of the base to the altitude is 5 to 7. That's weird. Base and altitude, we haven't really heard that before, but I bet you can conclude that's the base and that's the altitude. It's like the base and the height. And it's in the ratio of 5 to 7. So I'm going to go over here and write myself a little proportion. B is to A, base is to altitude, as 5 is to 7. So I'm just going to document it. Find the length of the base and altitude. Now I've got a problem. We can't cross multiply with two different letters. You can't solve a problem with two variables. So Blake has an idea.
I also have you put B in the place where A should go because B is smaller than A.
You cannot include that as long as your base doesn't make it up.
So the base, I'm sorry I drew my picture that way, the base could be shorter than the altitude. It could be a tall rectangle.
Yes, because the B is the 5 and A is the 7.
I'm just following what this says. The base to altitude ratio is 5 to 7. So yes, I drew my rectangle before I knew anything about the rectangle.
Don't
Okay.
matter.
That
Okay.
was a fiendish move.
Oh my God. Adriana, do you have a constructive?
Wait, isn't it like second over first, or?
Okay, wait. Did you see the word scale factor in this problem? So if we don't have scale factor, let's not worry about second over first. Let's not worry about it. They gave us base to altitude, base to altitude. Okay, let's move on. We've got a problem. We've got two letters and we cannot solve for both of them. So we need another equation. We've got another problem. We haven't used 60 at all. If we just solve this, 60 is not involved at all, so we better use the 60. Who has an idea of an equation you can write that involves A and B and 60?
Oh, 2A plus 2B.
Oh, thank you, Thomas. 2A
Plus 2B.
just plus 2B
Plus 60.
equals 60. That's how you find the perimeter of a rectangle.
But then what about you pull them?
A plus B equals 60. There's two A's, there's two B's. That's the perimeter formula. You might have remembered that from like middle school math. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to solve for one of these. Let's solve for A. Let's get A all alone. No one likes A. Everybody runs away from A. How do you make 2B run away from A?
Minus
2A equals 60 minus 2B.
Divide
Last step.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. What does A equal? A equals 30 minus B. So now I can use substitution. I can go over here to this proportion and instead of A, I can write 30 minus B. So instead of A, I'm going to write 30 minus B. And now you can solve the problem. I'm actually not going to do the algebra. I'm going to let you do all that algebra because I'm boring some people. But in the end, you're going to get that the base is 12.5 or 25 halves. And you would plug it back in and you would find the altitude or the height or whatever. Okay, We do have a lot to do today, so I need you to get your notes out, and we're gonna finish.
What about the question of the day?
Oh,
You need to ask us, response.